Morning YouTube. What we're working on today is a John Deere 750 no-till drill. This was made in about 1990. It's quite a few years old. We're going to work on this today. We're going to change out these disc blades. The cutting edge is wore off it and they have wore away too small. We'll show you in detail in a little bit when we get one off. And then also these pins, I've got too much wear in them. The whole unit can move side to side and that's not very good. This is a regular grain box drill. This is the box right here. It holds all the seed. Flows down inside to these seed meters. These turn by the means of this chain off the back wheel. The seed falls into there, gets into them little flutes, comes around that plastic deal, falls down the spout to the ground. To change the rate on this, we've got this handle here. That makes the flutes go in or out, so the further in they are, the more grain they put out. The further closed, the less seed per acre you put on. This drill has the small seed boxes on it, just like the grass drill for alfalfa and such. You can see these have the same fluted meter, but this time the seed falls down into this tube and then into the main tube. So this one we can drill two products at the same time and it all goes down the same tube. Here's a closer look at the seed boot. Going this way forward, the disc is cut in the slot that way I guess, and then the boot comes along and stretches it out and the seed comes out here. This little plastic tab pushes it into the seed bottom, then the press wheel helps push the seed into the furrow bottom, and the wheel at an angle closes the furrow. Okay, so here we have a John Deere 50 series no-till opener. The blade cuts the slot, it's right in here. The seed boot widens the slot. Seed goes down this tube from the box and the seed meters, comes out down here into the seed furrow. There should be a plastic tab there to press the seed in the furrow bottom, but that one's broke off. Here we have a Needham press wheel that smashes the seed into the bottom of the seed furrow. This is flexible rubber, so it works really good. And then here we have the closing wheel that presses the seed furrow closed. We're going to change these pins because they get wore and they stop this drill from being at the 7-degree angle that it's supposed to be at, and it wants to straighten out. So we're going to change these bushings and I'll put it back to the 7-degree angle. Okay, we've got to pull this bolt out. We're going to try and drive this pin out. There, we can see how much wear is in that pin. Should have been replaced a long time ago. It was greasable, but ever since we owned the drill it would never take any grease, so we just didn't worry about it. Well, now we'll fix it. These are the original pins and bushings. These original John Deere's. Been in there for 30 years. These are Arix, so they come from Australia, sold by Exapter Ag Supplies Inc.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left.
couple of days later, we've replaced all the pins and bushings right here, so they're all nice and tight now. The arm has got no sideways play, and then blade should be running at 7 degrees. Now we're changing the blades. These are the used blades, these are the new blades. You can see the cutting edge is completely gone on these. Wore off 1.5 inches across. So these go on just like this onto the hub, and then we have to put it all back together. This is the part that changes the seeding depth. Every one of these notches I think is 1/4 inch shallower or deeper. It also is the axle for the disc blade. We're replacing it because of the threads on the old one were all stripped out, so we're putting a new one on and we'll see how it goes. So we got the drill back together. You can see here, this is in its field position. We've got it extended way more than it needs to be. This drive wheel pivots right here, so this wheel is always on the ground. Chain drive goes up here, along, across this shaft, and then forward towards the meters, and that clutch, when you lift the drill up, the clutch disengages so it doesn't trickle out the seed, and when you're back in work position the clutch engages and it starts driving. This drill's set up for open center hydraulics, so I set the down pressure on this adjuster here. That just goes and then presses into this button. It shuts off the hydraulic flow to the cylinder. There's some that are set up for closed center hydraulics, which means you have to leave the lever in the cab constantly pumping, so it's putting downforce constantly onto the ram that sets the drill into the ground. These here are weigh cells. We have a set of scales on this drill. It's in 2 pound increments. Then there'll be a readout, just kind of same on a feed wagon, that'll be in the tractor cab, so that really helps get your rate right in the field. Okay, so now it's in its working position. These springs will be compressed, so it's always putting downforce on, and this machine has got enough downforce that it will pick the whole drill up just on these gangs. Front gang, they're on 15-inch spacings, and then you can see the back gang are offset. They're 15-inch, and when they're together it's 7.5 inches. You can lock up the front gang and disconnect the lift, so you just drill on 15-inch centers if you wanted to, like soybeans and stuff like that. There's still a little oats left in the drill from the last job. You can see it's got agitators, and you can see the fluted meters down there. The zip ties I modified to put on there to help. I drilled a little tiny bit of grass seed with it, and it seemed like it helped fluff it up. Don't do much, but it works. This drill's also set up with the dolly wheels, so basically there's no weight on the tractor. You can get it with the dolly wheels, without the dolly wheels, 2-point hitch, and dolly wheels on a 2-point hitch. Well, we've just got it set up just like this. We bought it used. Today we're drilling sorghum Sudan grass, which we hay for feed. This is a contracting job. I'm going to keep the farmer's name covered up. We're on Corps of the Engineers, US Army ground. Field 1 is feed. We're using adaptive curves to do the headland. Then I'm going to set up a boundary. So now we've gone to boundaries. We'll set up and we'll start recording, and that'll show the acres inside the field. Okay, we're just looking for seed depth, and I can see seed right there. There's one and there's one. That is probably about 1.5 inches deep. So we're aiming anywhere for 1.25 to 1.5 inches, so we'll be good. We're into good moisture. This is ground that was partially flooded last winter. All there was underwater. You can see the tree, the water line on the tree. Then when we get up the hill there, that stuff, the water didn't get there, so it's kind of stinky. It's just pretty nasty stuff.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
This is the sorghum Sudan grass seed, kind of big kernels. We're only putting on 15 pounds to the acre, and this will make a lot of bales. Grows to probably 10-12 feet tall, pretty thick stuff, and use it for cow feed.